Yeah, what's going on, people? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Puerto 77. You know, let me check out the acoustics and make sure the sound right. Yeah, we sounding good. Everything's good. Everything's all set up. Everything's smooth. What's up, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers? What are we doing today? It's your boy Puerto 77, and we are live. Let me pop out the chat. We lit. Do a chat pop out. All right. Let me get this going. All right. There we go. Yep. Yeah. Let me see this. Let me see this right here. Put this right here. Oh yeah, we lit. What's up? Let me look at the chat. Oh, let me shrink this up a bit. Yeah, there we go. Let me shout out to the chat. Kid Presentable. What's going on? Danny Stab. You know what I'm saying? Quantez the Gamer, Paul S. What's going on, people? My man Merc 305, Craig Harris, the Messiah of Xbox. What's good, brother? DJ Almighty Spotting God, the finest. Let's go. We're gonna talk about this, man. What's going on, people? All Too Easy, Evil Predator. What's good, man? Good to see you here. Lex Perez, Trickstar, JD, Savage, Uger. Man, what's going on, brother? What is it? Hussein Ansal, I hope I pronounced your name right. What's going on, brother? Sneaky Snake. Y que lo que, hermano? ¿Cómo está la cosa, bro? All right. Mo BJ the Don is here. Who's next? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? You know, Disinfect Anime. What's going on? I have no life, but nevertheless, I dig pure. Man, everybody has a life, man. At a minimum, all gamers have life. We game. What's going on, Paul S? All right. Be sure to check out King Thrash's Xbox One X unboxing. Uh-oh. You in tears, right? All right, I'm going to check it out. Jack Knight was good. Dedicated Servers, what's up? My man Craig Harris say no invite. Nah, you know what I'm saying? This is a sermon. I'm going to just preach by myself, you know, try to keep it short, get to the point, and then kick it with some games and shit. Well, actually, I got to clean the rug upstairs and shit like that. What's going on? You know, JKS Guy Code was good. Fernando Perez, como ta? What's going on, brother? Berserker, what's good? 6996. Garuda, what's up, brother? Man, thank you so much, people. What's up? Man, I'm glad y'all able to show up. I'm glad you're all able to spend some time with me. If you're listening and watching right now, if you don't mind, hit the like button. Would appreciate it, you know, to get all users coming in, so we could chat a bit and discuss and everything and all that. I hope all you guys started out, you know, the week in the best of health. I hope everything is going great where you at. I hope you're having a great time gaming, you know, and everything's all well with your family. So far, everything's going good out here with me. Just finishing up some final touches with my move. So like my bedroom's completely cleared out and stuff. Being shipped, so I'm sleeping like on an air mattress and shit with my wife and stuff. So I'm gonna clean. Now that I have no furniture in my bedroom, completely clean, I got like this rug cleaner that this friend of mine only supposed to be really good and stuff like that. So I'm gonna knock that out. Also, when I get my paperwork ready, got my passport, got a brand new passport for me and my wife ready to go. Contacted my insurance company so I could get insurance to cover my car in Europe, because I was able to ship my car to Europe from a government dime. I was authorized to ship my car, so I decided to ship my Nissan Maxima in the Sentra. I'm going to leave here with my daughter. It's a small car, and it'll be ready for her. But the Maxima is getting shipped over there. And I'll be start looking into that. I'll be heading home on Thursday. So I won't be able to be on the multiplayer podcast this Thursday, because I'll be driving up to New York around that time. I'm going to visit my mom and dad for a little bit, you know. Stay there for about a week. Am I botting? Let me see. Botting. Oh, shit. Am I botting? Hold on. Let me see if I could fix that. How was that now? How was that now? Damn, that sucks. Let me see. I see everybody like. Is it better now? Did it mess up? Did it? Let me know if it's still blocking. Shit. I might have to turn off the PlayStation then. Let me see. Is something downloading here? Hold on. Let me do this. Hold on. Okay. All right. Let me know now. Is it still buying? Let's see. Is it still up? Yep, as in the same. Still bad. Shit. Fucking useful. Hold on, let me do something. Static. Turn off the PS4. That can use McDonald's Wi-Fi. Let me see what to do. Man, always on this shit. Let me do this. Hold on. Let me try this. Let me do something crazy real quick. All right, let me do something crazy. Deranged. All right, I'm gonna open that. I'm gonna join there. Take me there. And I'm gonna close the other window. I go. YouTube be on some shit right now. Let me go here. All right. So now, I had to do some crazy shit, huh? Didn't I? So tell me now. He said this is almost worse than nails on a chalkboard. Hey, Rock, what's up? Be right back. So okay. So what's going on now? How does it sound now? Good. We fixed it. All right. Got to work some magic mic up in here. Hey, I apologize for that. Hey, this is probably why I don't do Patreon. You know what I'm saying? You can't complain when it's free. All right? I'm just kidding. You know what I'm saying? I know some of y'all be like, I pay 50 cents a month. What the fuck am I paying for? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, I'm glad. I appreciate you guys were patient. I apologize for any issues that we have here. All right, so we good in here. If you can see from the background, I've been rocking out with Battlefront 2. I bought it when it was on sale for like $30, and I know some of y'all gonna be pissed, you know, because I'm supporting loot box by buying the game and all that stuff. Listen, the game is actually a good game. It's actually a good game. It's just sad that EA did deceptive. I ain't gonna say deceptive tactics. They just went where they shouldn't. But the actual game is good. I enjoyed the single player. It was actually a good mode. It's funny because as I was playing the single player for Star Wars, it made me fiend for an authentic single player experience for Star Wars. You know, especially there was one part where you play as Luke Skywalker, and I'm just going around just wrecking shit. Yo, it was a great experience playing the single player, and it's just a shame that EA canned that single player Star Wars game. That's just a shame. You know, it makes me wonder, damn, we really need a good single player Star Wars experience. And believe it or not, the single player wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty good. Playing the campaign. It was really a good play. And then I started playing I played the online portion. I started out playing the heroes versus villains, was like 4-on-4, and you pick the heroes and stuff like that. That was actually pretty fun. being able to run around as either like, you know, Luke Skywalker or fucking, you know, all the other guys. It was pretty fun. It was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? It's just a shame that EA took I think it is a great game. I know a lot of people is gonna call it a piece of shit, but it's only because it's tied to the loot box bullshit and stuff. What the fuck is wrong with this little hair? What's going on? What we got here? Hello? I got bad head? This late? I got bad head. Anyway, so it's just a shame that that EA tied, you know, this pay to win model to the game. But honestly, the game is a good game. It is a good game. It was run smooth. What I don't like is the loading. It does a lot of loading in between scenes. Like, it's a long load times. I don't know if it's because of how demanding the game is, but it's a good game. I haven't tried the 40-on-40 multiplayer just to check it out. But my man Septic Meeple, Oktoberfest, when you get here to Europe, but definitely all about that. Chaz, how long is the campaign? I don't know. I can't really put a number. It took me about 2 days to beat it, but I was only playing sparingly. But I think it's a decent size. There was a lot of content to the campaign. Considering that the main focus of these games is usually multiplayer, I'd say it's longer than Call of Duty. I think Call of Duty, it took me longer to beat the single player campaign for this game than Call of Duty. And this actually has two campaigns. There's the main story, and then there's another story campaign called Resurrection, where you play her, this chick, when she's older. I don't want to do spoilers if you haven't done it, but after you beat the game, it's like 10 years later, 15 years later, whatever, like whatever time later, and there's more to the story. So it leads me to believe maybe future DLC for the game will include single player. Let me see if I can show you. I'll show it to you right now. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Let me show you what we're talking about. Let me go back. I was even playing the arcade. That's pretty fun. So this is the campaign right here. So this is the main story. I know it's blurry. You can't really see on the screen. Maybe if I could adjust the bandwidth. All right. Still blurry. But anyway, this is this campaign, and this is another story. As you notice, this spot is empty. So there could be potential that a DLC will continue a single player campaign. And this story ends off in a cliffhanger, which can lead to more stories. So there's potential for that to happen. So I'm pretty impressed with that. It's a good game. I'm not gonna lie. It is a good game. EA just got greedy as a company. They, doing dumb shit. It's just a shame, really. But other than that, yeah. So let's see what we got here. We got 90 people watching. Hey, I got 35 likes. If you can hit the like button. I know my friends, my family. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoyed the show. So let's talk. Let's get to it. Let's talk about these topics, right? All right. Oh man, we already got my man Milkmaster $5 super chat. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much for the support. Says fam, what's going on? Thanks for the info. No doubt. What's going on? We're about to talk some games. Getting ready to move to Europe. I'm gonna make a video, hopefully before I leave, because I want to talk about maybe when I come back from vacation or really, visiting for my parents. I want to talk about what I'm looking forward to living in Europe in terms of meeting gamers, the gaming culture, and stuff like that out in Europe. I'm really looking forward to that. I want to discuss that. I'm really looking forward to that. Because, like, for example, like you look at the UK top 40 charts, right? From Chart Tracks, I think they're called, and you compare that to our top 20 MPD, you see most of the time in the US it's really the same games. Madden, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, it's mostly the same games and maybe a big single player game once in a while. But in the UK, they have very good, I ain't gonna say, I don't want to use the word good. They have very unique taste. Like sometimes you'll see Yakuza on the top charts. You'll see other games. You see a lot of games of different flavor. Like you see Crash Bandicoot in the top charts when, maybe in the US it chops the chart once and then that's it. So you see a lot of very flavor in terms of in gaming taste and what they buy a lot, So I'm pretty impressed that, how Europe, they have a very broad taste, while American gamers, they tend to stick to the same, culture thing. So I'm really looking forward to that. Experiencing gaming culture in Europe. You know, I experienced gaming culture in Japan when I was stationed over there. Woo, very unique. I'm saying that. So now I'm looking forward to in Europe and Gamescom. They do it in Germany, right? So I'm really looking forward to attending Gamescom. I can't wait. I'm excited. But I'll do a video separate on that. Garuda Legends, you know, $10 super chat. Thank you very so much. I appreciate it. So the Xbox needs a new Battletoads and a new Perfect Dark. Need less controllers. I say overall, I agree with you in terms of they just need new games. I'll be honest, I don't know why everybody keeps talking about Battletoads. I don't remember Battletoads ever being that big. Like, I hear more about Battletoads now than I did when Battletoads was actually a thing. Maybe it's just me growing up, but I remember during my time, Puerto Rock gonna get him some European chicks. No, I'm married. No, Mrs. Puerto Rock will fuck me up. She ain't trying to hear that shit. There's no European taste test when it comes to that. It's hard to say. But she ain't trying to hear that. All right. Mrs. Puerto Rock 77 ain't playing that. All right. Nah. But in all seriousness, Battletoads, I remember back growing up, games like not even games, but franchises like, why is this always blurry and stuff? But franchises like Battletoads, no problem, no guy code, we good. But Battletoads, I remember also Silverhawk. I don't know, I may be showing my age, but those franchises were considered. Oh, and GoBots, that was the other one. They were considered the rejected clones of the actual popular cartoons. For example, Battletoads was the rejected clone of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Silverhawk was the rejected clone of Thundercats, and GoBots was the rejected clone of Transformers. You know, they had the same similar concept. You know, GoBots was, you know, machines from another planet that transformed themselves into whatever. And Battletoads, again, mutant animals that knew martial arts and fight bad guys. And then the Silverhawks was like, you know, animal-powered people doing something. You know, same thing like fucking, you know, Thundercats. They were just copycats. It was just copycats, you know. But I don't remember Battletoads being this super big thing. I remember it was there. I just don't remember it being, especially on Xbox. I don't remember Battletoads being big on Xbox. I could have sworn it was more of a Super Nintendo thing. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just look back. I just don't remember me owning an OG Xbox and be like, oh man, Battletoads. Because the Xbox came out in 2001. I don't remember in the 2000s Battletoads being a thing. So some Coquito. Oh yeah, I will definitely introduce Coquito to the German population. Oh, we on. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start a new thing out there. You will taste the glory of Coquito. Prepare yourself, Germany. It's coming. Heaven in a bottle, straight from Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? You're going to love it. I'm going to have half of Germany dance salsa by the time I come through. After 3 years? Yes. It's going to be amazing. So, all right. So, my man, people laughing. All right, prepare yourselves because I'm going to be waving that Puerto Rican flag. It's going to be an invasion. All right, we're going to be dancing salsa, drink Bacardi rum, and enjoy some Coquito. You know what I'm saying? It's on. I'm bringing the Puerto Rican. I'm spreading the Puerto Rican culture globally. It's going to be spread across the world. All right, you're going to have the recipe. It's going to be so enjoyable. All right, let me switch. So we're going to start off with Cyberpunk 2077. And in order to do that, I need to show you something. So that way we can have that. I could show you an image, all right? So I'm going to share my screen. No, that ain't it. Let me share my screen. Mr. Share My Screen. That's who I be. Hide this stuff. Boom. And then I'll put the chat to the side. All right. Y'all see that, right? All right. So I'm going to be out the chat. You see that right there? This is an image from the developers CD Projekt Red. Shout out to Killzone Rocks, my man on Twitter. He's always pushing out new tech. My man loves new tech. Any article dealing with new tech and power, he's on it. He can't wait. My man is feeding for new tech. So in fact, that's his Twitter handle right there. Killzone Rocks. Hit him up there. My man is feeding it, boy. He just loves power. But anyway, it says right here, establishing a new blockbuster franchise, new universe, set in a futuristic world, blending science fiction with modern culture, rich, true-to-life visuals, built on current and next generation technology. So as you see right here, this is straight from an image produced by CD Projekt, developers of the game. So now we're gonna talk. I'm gonna stop this real quick. I'm gonna go back to my camera, and boom, we're back to my camera. So I know some people are gonna be looking at me like, yo, people are gonna look at me like, yo, Puerto Rock, don't read into it. But there's not much reading into it at all. It says it right there. The game is built for current gen platforms and next gen technology. That means this game is going to be on next gen consoles. So next gen might be here sooner than we think. You know, it might be 2019 for all we know. It possibly could. I still think 2020, considering how well the PlayStation 4 is selling, and the fact that 2019 console release means Xbox One X only had 2 years on the market. Well, not even 2 years. Just barely 2 years. I don't think Microsoft wants to do that. But next gen is closer than we think. The technologies, the tools, everything that encompasses next gen development is already in the hands of developers and stuff, which kind of makes sense, but next gen is close. So Cyberpunk will be a cross-gen platform. And shout out to Killzone Rocks for presenting that and making that point. Cyberpunk 2077 is, right now, based on that, it's going to be a cross-gen game. All right, cross-gen platform game. It's going to be available on the PlayStation 4, on the Xbox One family, and whatever the next generation consoles that are coming out. And obviously, the difference between the two is just going to be superior performance, effects, stuff like that. Do I see that as a bad thing? No, because we have to be honest. This goes back to my point. How long should a console generation last? Traditionalists are going to tell you 5 years is the healthy time frame that a console generation should last. We should get new consoles every 5 years because technology is constantly evolving, and for games to evolve, we can't be stuck in long-term life cycles of the console. That's going to be the opinion of many gamers, all right? And many will use the past console cycles of, you know, prior gens. You know, the Genesis, PlayStation 1, most of them for most part were 5 years, right? And while I agree consoles in the past were 5 years, I do not agree that consoles should maintain the 5 year cycle. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason why I don't agree with that anymore is because games are taking longer to develop. When these consoles were 5 year cycles in the past, it didn't take 5 years to make one game. Look at Horizon Zero Dawn. That was a 6 year project. When you think about it, the development of this one game is technically longer than the life of the console. And developers, smaller publishers, not named Activision, Ubisoft, and EA, they can't survive in an era where consoles constantly change every 5 years. They can't keep up because the only publisher, the only people that can keep up with that model is literally Activision, EA, and Ubisoft, especially EA and Activision, because they can release the annual games every year. Every year we get a Madden, every year we get FIFA, every year we get Call of Duty. Those games will survive year after year after year. So, you know, so by the time a 5 year console ends, we already have 5 Maddens, 5 FIFAs, 5 2Ks, 5 UFCs, 5 CODs. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they'll survive. But look at CD Projekt Red. They just made one game, Witcher 3. The next game is going to be a cross-gen title. They can't survive on a 5 year cycle. You understand what I'm saying? You know, by the time a developer gets the tool sets and finally produces their game, the generation's almost over. Compare the PlayStation 2 to the PlayStation 4 when it comes to Rockstar. On the PlayStation 2, we had Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, right? On top of 3 Grand Theft Autos, Manhunt, Red Dead Revolver, Bully, The Warriors. And that's off the top of my head. That's all I'm thinking of. I think Rockstar made other games like Midnight Club or whatever, but off the top of my head, 7 games in a 5-year period of PlayStation 2 lifecycle from 2000 to 2005. At a minimum, Rockstar by themselves 7 games. 7 juegos. What did we have from Rockstar legitimately this gen? We're still running on a game that came out on the PS3 360, Grand Theft Auto 5. We technically, correct me if I'm wrong, I could maybe understand a Rockstar published game for somebody else, but actually a Rockstar developed game, we don't really have anything. We don't even have a legitimate Grand Theft Auto for this current gen. It's still playing a PS3 360 games. We're finally going to get a legitimate Rockstar game with Red Dead Redemption 2. And it's 2018. This gen started in 2013. So technically speaking, if we were going on a 5-year gen, consistent cycle, that means new consoles would be out this year. Think about that. New consoles will be out this year, and we're finally getting one Rockstar legit game. Yeah, exactly. My man Chickstar, the first new Rockstar project to come to PS4 or these family generation consoles is Red Dead Redemption 2. GTA is just a port. It's a port of PS3 360 games. You see what I'm saying? My man Lionel, was good, brother? Thank you for the super chat. I thought the PS4 Pro was to stretch out the life cycle, so why we have 6-year life cycles? Why not 7 to 8 with a mid-gen refresh? Exactly. Why? If next gen starts in 2019, starting with the PS4, what's the point of the Pro? You're telling me you guys bought a Pro just for 3 years? So you bought a PS4 for 3 years, and then you bought an upgraded experience just for 3 years. And now you're going to buy another PlayStation. That means you bought like 3 consoles in a 6-year span. 3 consoles in a 6-year span. Now, that's not fair to the consumers. Let's see. Right here. Let's see. Tech isn't doubling as fast as cost. Besides, there are so many online services-based games that look at the long cycles. Consoles' life should always react to the market. It's not so much react to the market. It's developing to the platform. It's not cheap. Because let's say if developers now start kicking in gear for the new next generation console life cycles, that means you have to move all your tools to take advantage of that. But if you only made one game on the platform because there was only a 5-year life cycle, how long do you think those guys will last? Again, in that type of environment, the only developed publishers that will thrive is EA and Activision and maybe Ubisoft, because they built games that come out every year like clockwork. So they're going to make their money from the 5 Call of Duties they release. They're going to make their money from the 5 Maddens. They're going to make their money from the 5 2K basketball games. They're going to make their money from the wrestling games and from the UFC games. CD Projekt Red, look at them. They're not going to make that much money. Look at Square Enix. We're finally going to get a second Tomb Raider. A lot of developers are not going to be able to keep up because they can't make a game every year. So a 5-year cycle, you make one game. So you develop, you get the tool sets, you do everything, and you be like, yes, made a great game. And now you're working on a second game, but the generation's over, where everybody's moving on, which means now you have to develop new tool sets, which costs money. But you're just getting over the nuances. See, game developers thrive, by making a game, and then all the assets and technologies that you built with that game, you're going to apply it to future games. Because a lot of things with Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be using stuff that they developed with The Witcher 3, and they get to reuse it. That's where you make your money. Like, for example, Horizon Zero Dawn. They built a new engine, the Decima engine, and they got a lot of assets with Horizon Zero Dawn. The real money that's going to be made is with Horizon Zero Dawn 2, because they're going to reuse a lot of those assets. So Horizon Zero Dawn 2 development is going to be a little bit cheaper than the original game, because the original game, they built a lot of stuff from the ground up. Now it's just reusing assets. That's where you make your money with sequels and new projects. But if you're constantly changing everything that quick, they can't keep up. It's just not going to keep up in terms, And let's be honest, this mid-gen refresh is just a graphics boost. That's all it really is. It's just boosting current generation graphics to a level, So I don't agree with 5-year generations. I think that's going to hurt most developers and publishers. I think that's going to put EA and Activision in a more powerful position. And we don't want that. Because imagine EA, Microsoft, Ubisoft swallowing everything. Because they're the only ones that can survive this constant changing market. Simply because they consistently make money off of annual rehashes. Yet developers that try to make unique experiences, the only thing is they just can't make unique experiences every year. They can't make 5 games in a 5-year period. They can only make 1. They can make 1 and start on the second one. And if you're lucky, we might get a 3rd. Those guys ain't going to survive. So all we're doing, because we're going to have to pick a choice. If you guys want power and you want constant adoption of graphics and fidelity and keep up with technology, there's going to be a price for that. And that price is EA, Activision, Ubisoft being the main publishers of games. So don't get mad if we don't get that much unique content. Don't be mad if developers are playing it safe. We have to help them in a way, accept an environment where they can thrive. If they can't thrive, they're going to pick the safest bet, which means you get Call of Duty. Or you get a Call of Duty rehash. Or you get a Grand Theft Auto rehash. Or you'll get something. That's just or you'll get indie games. You'll get shitloads of indie games. Why do you think a lot of people are making indie games? Because that's really the only type of games you're going to get every year or every 2 years. A developer can knock out 7 or 8 indie games real easy in a 5-year generation. You know what I'm saying? And then some developers, they're going to be like, with the industry changing so fast or constantly reinventing himself, what we're going to do is we're going to make 1 game with microtransactions. And then that game will last 7, 8 years. And that's all we'll focus on. We'll just focus on making DLC and keeping this games as a service alive. We won't worry about constantly making new IPs. Screw that. We'll make 1 IP, maybe even make the game free to play and just do microtransactions. And we'll worry about creating DLC. And then there you go. Enjoy, gamers. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to think about. You got to think about the type of environment we're willing to create for developers to flourish. Because this is one thing I don't think gamers understand. This is not a charity. Developers are not doing this for charity. It's not a charity. It is a job. A lot of those developers went to college. They paid for their education. This is work. They get paid. They get money. The publishers, they expect profit. It's a business, 100% pure business. And they're going to make the decisions that will help them pay their bills, that will help them get a mortgage in a house, put food on the table, vacations to Europe or Walt Disney World, so they can buy 4K TVs, buy computers and all that shit. They're doing all that too. You understand what I'm saying? My man said it best, Dan White. It's a business. It ain't UNICEF. Gaming is not a charity. None of this is being done for the sake of our enjoyment as charitable people. It is a business, plain and simple. And they were going to be business-minded first. So if we co-sign this whole, I don't want to see console 5 years because I need the very best in graphics. Sure, you're going to get the very best in graphics for an indie game. Because that's the only thing they'll be able to make 4 or 5 times in a 5-year cycle. Or you're going to get that 1 games as a service and you're just going to get DLC. And that's all you're going to get. And then we're going to complain, where are the new experiences? Where are the new IP? Where's my single-player games? Well, that went out the window because you want graphics. You want up-to-date graphics up to the second. Well, guess what? You're going to get the very best graphics for a $10 indie game. know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. My man said, "What infinite wisdom?" P-Rock is the only dude I know that looks young and old at the same time. Yo, oh my God, y'all dudes are crazy. All right, hey, shout out to everybody. My man Juan, Rays, what's going on? Paul S, J Pony, what's going on? Dan White, what's going on? OG John, Infinite Wisdom. Hey, I read Cali Rex. Damn, I appreciate you guys just showing up, man. It's really humbling and it's enjoyable, man. I mean, like right now, how many people we got up in here? Wait, shit, did I close the chat now? How many people I got up in here right now? Right now, 137 watching. Yo, I remember the days when I used to look at the screen and it said like 7 watching, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But it's enjoyable. So I'm really blessed with that. Anyway, so that was my thing with Cyberpunk 2077. You know, let me close this. Oh man, I think I messed up with the pop out chat. Let me fix that real quick. Let me pop this chat out again. All right. We have to pop out chat again. But where's my close this. What are we doing here? Everything's messing up. All right. Oh, wait. I see another super chat. Give me a second. I will get to it. Man. My man Lionel with another super chat. I appreciate it, brother. Let me fix this up real quick because everything's like all jumbled now. Boom. Everything's like all orange and stuff like that back there. Let me pop this out. All right. So my man Lionel, my man said, to be honest, I think a long gem benefits everyone. We're so much worried about 4K and the best graphics, but what we might not realize is that we are sacrificing creativity. Maybe 8 to 10 might be good. My man Lionel, that's exactly what I'm saying, man. I mean, let's be real as gamers. At what point, I mean, I understand we troll and we talk shit on Twitter, but at what point do we stop worrying about technology and we put our focus on games? Nice Batman shirt, P-Rock, but I'm Team Superman. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Batman forever. You know what I'm saying? That's it. All right? We got the number one reason why Batman can never be beat by anybody. You know, I always catch my wife with that. I'm like, oh, Batman will definitely beat this guy. Y'all remember looking at Black Panther? And then she just came up. You know, she's like, you know what? I think Black Panther could beat Batman in a fight. I'm like, man, hell no. Batman will always beat Black Panther. And she's like, why? Because he's Batman. And she's like, that reason's so corny. Oh, I love that reason. Oh, man. Why? Because he's Batman. She's like, that's such a corny reason. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then I make up anything. You know what I'm saying? I like Batman's the type of dude that invents anything. Like, so she asked me, like, all right, no, seriously, how can he legitimately beat Black Panther? His suit is impenetrable. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to tell you. Because Batman creates anything and he has everything ready. And she's like, okay, go. So you know that liquid that they give Black Panther when he has to do a duel? He drinks a liquid to strip him of his powers, right? Everybody knows what if you've seen the movie, right? So he has to do, you know, he gets stripped of his powers so that way he's human and he has to legitimately defend the right to be Black Panther, right? Right? Everybody knows that, right? But guess what? Batman has that fluid. He probably has it as a weapon. It's probably like a spray mist that if you breathe it in, he probably weaponized it. So he'll fight Black Panther. He'll shoot like a little canister, kind of like what he did with Superman. It blows up into a mist of smoke. Black Panther will breathe it in. Then all of a sudden, Black Panther no longer has his powers. There you go. Batman wins. Huh? Told you. Batman always wins. All right? All right? Batman already, listen. Batman already knows how to beat everybody. It's just he has to go through the motions and do it. The fight's already won. Batman already figured out every single way to beat everybody. It's just whether the fight comes to fruition or not. Like, he already knows how to beat Black Panther. It's already done. The fight is already lost. It's just actually if Black Panther has the balls to step up to him. All right? All right? Batman said, nah, Shuri will anticipate that shit. Batman already anticipated Shuri stuff. He already knows what Shuri's going to do before Shuri even does it. He already knows. He already had everything laid out. It's already done, all right? Batman can't beat the Hulk. Batman probably has a cure for the Hulk. And he's the only one in the world that has it. He probably has anti-Hulk spray. Anti-Hulk spray. You know why I say that? Because, again, I'm showing my age. But there was the old 70s show, the Batman TV show with Adam West. And it was the old 70s. It was the old show. Yo, the reason why I make up these jokes about Batman is because he literally was the definition of that dude. Batman, he had every single thing in his damn cape. Everything. There was one episode where he was stuck in the water, and the show ended. Like there was maybe sharks swimming around him, and then the show ended. What will Batman do? These killer sharks, whatever. Tune in next week on the same bat time, same bat place, right? And then the next episode was shown, and his Robin's like, holy, sea fish, Batman. What do we do? Don't worry, Robin. I got anti-shark spray. And then the shark goes away. Like literally, I swear to God, that was the episode. Batman had anti-shark spray with him on that day where he was surrounded by sharks. Anti-shark spray. Literally. It's not just that he had it or he even made it. That's fine. But how did he know to carry it on that day? Anti-shark spray. On that very day. And there was another episode. I swear to God, there was another episode where he's in the mayor's office, right? And I guess the mayor's office was being attacked, like a shootout is going through the window. So they're all on the ground, ducking bullets. He pulled out a skateboard so he could roll himself across the room from his cape. A plastic skateboard, and he just rolled across the room. Okay, granted, he may have invented the plastic skateboard, but why would he be carrying it on that day? That's why that Batman can be. Whatever can be thought of, he thought of it, and he has it in his utility belt. It could be a nuclear missile the size of Afghanistan. It's in his utility belt. He has it ready. Ready to go. That's why I love Batman. It's just the craziest shit he invents. But anyway, so what we got right here. So next thing, all right. Batman has some good imaginative writers. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do, all right? So anyway, the next topic I want to talk about, Xbox rumors. So now we got another rumor of Vanquish being an Xbox exclusive and in development. I'm tired. I'm just tired. Like what do I do? What do we do? Do we hype it? Do we feel excited? I don't know what to feel. I don't know what to feel, bro. How y'all feel about that? My man Milkmaster says, Senesio, do you develop games to optimize console, or do you make consoles to optimize games? That's where we are now. I'm just saying. Scenario, do you develop games to optimize console, or do you make consoles to optimize games? That's a good question. Back in our days, most consoles, the whole point of the consoles was so that way developers could max out and take advantage of one unique platform, a platform that doesn't change, like PC, whatever. That way you can maximize and get the best products while at the same time come out with multiple content and make money off of that. That's why back in the days you saw a lot of sequels. And that's why you see, if you look at console developers back in the days, like Capcom on the Super NES and on Nintendo, they used to make games like IPs, ridiculous. They will have, now a developer makes maybe 3 or 4 games. Back in those days, developers had 10, 15 franchises under their belts. They would make 10 franchises, and each franchise had 2 or 3 games. Now you'll be lucky if you could get 3 or 4 games, other than the Call of Duty and the Madden. You don't see you don't see 3, 4 new franchises from one publisher. You might see 1 new franchise and maybe 1 or 2 games, 3 if we're lucky. Or back then, you had 8 or 9 new franchises and 2 or 3 sequels within each franchise. All right? Crazy, right? But Microsoft. So how are we supposed to feel? First, rumors of Gears on a new IP. And then it said, no, they're not working on new IP. Then we have rumors of Fable being developed by somebody. Then we have rumors of Microsoft buying EA. Oh no, they're gonna buy Valve. Now we got Sega and Vanquish 2, which is weird because if I remember, Vanquish did better on PlayStation. If I remember, not better, but so better on PlayStation. I don't remember, but it wasn't that huge. It was a great game. Vanquish is a great game. But there's a lot of rumors going on, just a lot, and we all jumping at each and every one. We're jumping at every single rumor we hear for Xbox, and people are coming with excitement and you know. And at first, when I heard Fable rumors coming back, I was excited. And then when EA rumor of them buying EA, I was interested in talking speculative. But now it's getting old, though. This is getting old now. And what I find it funny is people thought Sony showing games ahead of schedule or games 2 years out. Some people don't like that. Some people be like, I don't like that. I don't want to know a game that I can't play within the next year. That Sony showing games 2-3 years in advance is stupid. But here's the thing, at least they're showing you factual production of games that they're working on, and then over time they're going to talk more about it. What do I do with these rumors? Daniel J, $5 super chat. My man says Vanquish was an okay game, but let's be honest, does Xbox need another generic shooter? Why not RPG or JRPG? I could agree with that. What I say it's a generic shooter. What I liked about Vanquish, it was like a shooter, but you did a lot of crazy shit. They put attacking with shooting with style, you know, kind of like a Bayonetta-ish with a machine gun, you know. And I'll play it if it's exclusive to Xbox. I'm definitely gonna play the sequel, regardless if it's exclusive multiplayer. Regardless, if new Vanquish 2 is out, I'm playing it. But overall, like, what are we doing here? Like, what do I do with rumors now? How many more rumors am I going to be fed? How many rumors are we going to be fed? What I find hilarious is some of the dudes that complain about Sony showing trailers of games, which are legit being in development, and Sony's talking about them. You know, the biggest critique is when they're going to come out. That is a genuine critique. I'm not going to knock that. But at least you know what's being talked about. Yet, these same dudes are all excited about rumors that we can't confirm or deny. We can't do nothing. Like, what do we do with these rumors? Like, what am I supposed to do? Rumor. Vanquish is exclusive to Xbox. What does that mean at this point? Is it even exclusive? Is it timed exclusive? I don't know. Lionel, my man. Once again, thank you for being a great supporter to the channel. He says, shit is so crazy. Xbox games getting cheaper by the day, and now people reaching for exclusives. They might end up killing Phil over all this fake hype. Phil ain't going to be able to live up to these rumors. I agree partially. Like, buying EA, buying Valve. Ooh, Sega into a partnership with Sega. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this is nonsense. Like, come on. Like, I can't keep up with all this maybes and what ifs. Like, this is all this is what if. I hope Phil has things in plan, you know, to bring Xbox, Microsoft first party publishers up to snuff, you know. And here's the thing: a lot of people say, "Oh, why you got to talk about bash Microsoft publisher?" That's really the only thing I go at with Xbox, because to me, even the original Xbox is not here now; it's being shipped. I have it with my more storage, or shipment going to Europe because it's a big ass. Yo, that thing is big. I got the Halo 1 terabyte and that power brick. That shit is big. I ain't carrying that thing on the plane. That shit alone is like a surcharge to fly out to Europe. That's like a baggage in of itself. But anyway, I have no issues with the Xbox and the console, even the graphics of the OG. You know what I'm saying? My biggest criticisms for any console will always be the games. You know, and what content comes out. That's why I didn't buy my PlayStation 4 till 2015. I didn't buy my PlayStation 4 at launch. You know, even though because the game library wasn't there yet for me. You know, it wasn't there. It wasn't matured enough. So I didn't see no value in paying launch price for a console, and there was really nothing that I really wanted. It wasn't until Bloodborne that became a big hit, and then at that time, more announcements of what's games coming through, and I'm like, okay, now's the time for me to get a PlayStation. So people think I just do that with Xbox. It's with the PlayStation platform, because at the end of the day, it's my money. It's my money and how I feel about entertainment. The console is supposed to entertain me. It's supposed to entertain you. Excuse me. Let's not get it twisted. It's all entertainment. That's all it is. You're paying money to be entertained. So let's not get that twisted, right? So with Xbox, I bought it to play Xbox games. And Xbox games is in Call of Duty. I don't see Call of Duty as an Xbox or even as a PlayStation game. We all know what I call those type of games. They're community pussy. Xbox, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Battlefront 2, Madden, NBA 2K, UFC. That's all community pussy. That's just shit. That's punani that every dude is hitting in the neighborhood. No one can claim that. No one could claim community pussy. You can't claim that. You look stupid trying to claim something that everybody else is tapping, And what are you going to say? Well, community pussy runs best in my house. Like, nah. Like, no one cares. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. The punani's good in my crib. No. What? No. It's something that's, is going through the hood. You need wifey. Your wife is what's valuable. You know what I'm saying? That's what gives your household your name. You give your name to your wife. That's who has the household name. You don't give your name to the chick that's being ran through by everybody else. You don't want her to have your name. That's not how it goes. All right. Shout out to Garuda. Appreciate the super chat. He said Phil Spencer needs to hire new people who went to school for gaming, micromanage them based on their skills, and build new studios. Buying out studios won't give you games like The Last of Us. That needs freedom. I agree to a lot of that. It's easier for us to say because we don't got the full information, but I know it's just one interview, but Shannon Loftus, when she compared Recore and Quantum Break to the levels of Halo and Gears, that kind of where's your mind at, Because I know you're trying to soften the blow from the interview, but sometimes I think if you could be brutally honest, that comes a long way to the vision you have. I think if she was brutally honest and be like, we're always striving and achieving and looking into new ideas to bring blockbuster ideas that we once did when Halo was launched, and blockbuster ideas or Gears are launched, we're going to anticipate and we're going to try our best and stuff like that. Not, we did have Recore and Quantum Break was a phenom. We know those games you could never put those games side by side with Halo and Gears or Uncharted and God of War and stuff. You can't do that. They don't nowhere belong to that. That's not it. So does she even have the right mindset and stuff like that? So you gotta have the right people that fundamentally knows the right type of games that's gonna bring out. And I'll be honest, I think Sony understands that, on my end. My man Septic Meatball, take care, brother. Of course I will enjoy my time in Europe, man. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Because look at the stuff that Sony's releasing. Notice Sony stopped releasing big multiplayer games. And it's not for lack of trying. Some people say, oh, Sony don't release multiplayer games. It's because they tried. All right? We had the Kill Zones. We had MAG, which was online-only multiplayer. We had Warhawk and Starhawk. PlayStation Battle Royale. GT Sport was launched as an online-only game. DC Universe, an MMO. That was a Sony online entertainment studio that built that game. And then it got sold off or whatever, or separated. But that was a Sony studio that built that game. Online MMO, which is still playable today. On Xbox, PC, on all platforms.
That was a Sony concept. So they built lots of multiplayer games. But at the end, you have to read the pulse of your audience. You know? The man said we got knack. You have to build the pulse of your audience. And Sony sees what games goes after the audience. That's why Sony heavily supports Quantic Dream. We got from them, it started out with Fahrenheit overseas, is called it, or Indigo Prophecy in the States. And then it went from that to Sony heavily supporting Heavy Rain, then Beyond Two Souls. And now we got Detroit Being Human. And they supported other studios in that direction with Supermassive Games, with Until Dawn. And then we have another one that just came out, Hidden Agenda. Because those games are catering to the core PlayStation gamer. Sure, there are Xbox gamers and PC gamers that don't like that game, but Sony's not worrying about you guys. They didn't make these games for you. They made it for the PlayStation audience. The PlayStation audience buys these games. Sure, people are going to bring up, well, you know, percentages. The percentages is irrelevant. This whole ratio argument is the stupidest argument ever because it's not about ratios. It's about profit. It's what the developer expects to sell and how much they actually did sell. You know, a lot of these developers, despite PlayStation having 76, 78, whatever amount of consoles sold, they don't be like, well, because PlayStation 4 sold 80 million, we expect a 10% attach ratio, therefore the game's going to sell 8 million. No, they don't do that. They don't do that. Only an idiot publisher would think like that. They legitimately be like, hey, we're going to make a game. It's going to sell. We would like to sell it 2 million. That's what we would like. You know? Despite the fact that the fan base is 80 million, they're going to build the game to sell like 2 million. You know? And if a game sells 3 to 4 million, it surpassed their expectations. Look at Hellblade. As much shit as I talk about the sales of Hellblade, the developers were smart to project the game at 250K. I don't know why they were projected, but they called it right. The game sold 500K, which is double their expectations. I wish the game sold a lot more than that. We all know how I feel about the low sales, but the developers was at least smart to be reasonable with their sales expectation. And because they were reasonable and smart of their sales expectation, they made money and now they could continue on with development. Everybody else needs to learn that lesson. You need to be smart. You can't just go, well, you got 80 million gamers, then our game should sell 12 million. Who the hell has an expectation to sell 12 million on a console? I don't care how many users you have on that console. Very few people can go there. Hell, even Battlefront. Battlefront had an expectation, I think, of 9 million across all three platforms. Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. And they were short by like 1 million. So there's no way you literally could have an expectation of selling 6 million on one platform. Even EA ain't setting that bar that high for them. Let me see. At Puerto, it hurt you to say that, huh? Hurt me to say what? That Hellblade sold like crap? If it's Hellblade sold like crap, no. I've probably been the most vocal person about my disappointment in Hellblade sales. But at the very least, the developers themselves were smart in how to take care of their own business, you know. But I really wish Hellblade was much more successful than what it was because they probably would have sold a killing of money. If their only expectation was 250K about across both platforms, imagine if the game would have sold 1 million on just PlayStation 4. Them dudes would have been caking in money, which means even bigger, better games for them. But, you know, I wish them luck and I hope for them, all right? But back to my point. What do we do with these rumors? How many more rumors can we take? How many more rumors are we going to listen to? You know what I'm saying? Microsoft needs to get back to understanding the core audience, right? And if you make a good core game, the casuals will follow. You don't make casual games or crappy games and think you're going to attract the core. It doesn't work that way. Remember, Call of Duty was a core game for the hardcore. It just ended up being super popular with the casuals. Battlefield was for the core, the way the game was made. It just became popular for the casuals. You know? Make a good game and the casuals will follow. You know what I'm saying? But as far as these rumors, it's just getting old and it's just whatever now. You know, and I'll be honest, for this E3, I don't have a lot of expectations on any platform other than maybe Nintendo, because I'm not sure what Sony's going to do for E3. And we'll talk about that as my next topic, because that's one of my topics. But I definitely don't know what Microsoft is going to do, because if Microsoft is going to bring anything, it's most likely going to have to be purchased. Because I'm going to say this. If Microsoft announces Halo 6, that's not a megaton. That's almost like, well, it's about damn time. That's just something I know that's coming. I'm not shocked about a Halo 6 as much as I won't be shocked when Gears 5 gets announced. You know what I mean? That's not a big thing. I know it's big for the Halo fans. You know, a lot of Halo fans are going to love it and be excited to play a new Halo. But that's not the big thing for everyone outside of the Halo fan base. You know, everybody outside of the Halo fan base wants a big IP from Microsoft, you know. And I know some people are wondering, well, you know, why are we putting Microsoft under pressure? Because who else is going to create a big IP specifically for the platform other than them? It's not third party, because at best, third party is just going to give you a timed exclusive. You know? And again, my main priority for every console has always been the games, because that's what gives you your identity. Again, community pussy. You can't claim Call of Duty, even if you do have the best version. You can't claim Battlefront. You can't claim Battlefield. You can't claim Madden. Everybody's rocking that. Who cares? If I told you, yo, I just bought me a new gaming platform, and with the gaming platform, I bought Madden, 2K, and The Witcher 3. What platform am I talking about? You don't know. It could be Xbox, PlayStation, or PC. Now, if I tell you, yo, I just bought me a new platform and I rock in Bloodborne, Until Dawn, and Call of Duty. Well, guess what? Call of Duty's on every platform, but 2 games aren't. Until Dawn and Bloodborne. Oh, so you got a PlayStation 4. You see what I'm saying? These exclusives gives the console true, unique identity to gaming. My man Garuda, my man, thank you so much. He said, Sony might not show shit at E3, but 2018, 2019 will be lit as fuck on the PS4. In terms of content, hell yeah. In terms of what we are actually playing, it's going to be crazy. The games that we're going to be playing. God of War in April, dog. And of course, me, I'm hyped for MLB, the show. My man Aaron Judge right there on the cover. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready for that. Detroit being human, Spider-Man. I know some people are looking forward to Dreams. Something's in VR, which I'm looking to get. What is it? Blood and Truth? Hong Kong Massacres, the indie. I don't know that game. That indie game looks fire. There's some fire shit that's gonna be lit on that. So you're right, Garuda. Gaming's gonna be crazy, you know. And there's something I'm looking for Xbox. I'm really looking forward to State of Decay 2. I know some people are ragging on it because it might be $30. It just looks good either way. I'm interested, you know, in the survival stuff, you know, looking around, you know, teaming up with people, you know, resource collecting, just trying to survive. You know, it's like kind of like playing The Walking Dead in real life, or, you know, in a gaming scenario, you know? So I'm looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? My man mentioned some other game, Yakuza 6, Ni no Kuni 2. I know some people hype for that. I'm gonna try. I was never into Yakuza, you know. So I'm gonna start with Yakuza Kiwami, the remaster, and I'm gonna see if I could rock out with that. So I am gonna cop that. Daniel J, my man, thank you so much for Super Chat. He says Sony is just 23.5 million away from 100 million. Do you think they could get it 1 year? What do you think? Maybe. I know they sold 20 million this past year. It's going to be tough. It's going to be rough. I think they might get it by next March. They could reach 100 million. It's going to be interesting. But there will be 100 million. There's no doubt this console is another 100 million selling console for the PlayStation brand, which is phenomenal because this is the only brand that does that. Not even Nintendo. This is going to be their third 100 million selling console. Their third one. And this is going to be their fourth console that sold over 80 million. That's insane. No other brand has been able to do that. Hey, Pete, are you excited for Spyro Remaster? I was never into Spyro, so not really. But I know a lot of people are excited. I was just never into that character personally. But it's cool that it's coming out because people want it. People enjoying it, you know? Buy what you buy, enjoy what you enjoy, you know? Beats, Games, and Life says, or Yakuza, Kiwami is lit. I'm going to try it. You know, I'm going to cop it. And I'm going to give it a try and stuff, you know? So I'm going to be looking forward to that. All right? But again, with these rumors, I'm just not even going to deal with that no more. I'm not going to go from now to E3, you know, oh, look, Phil Spencer visited the Ubisoft office, Microsoft to buy Ubisoft. I'll be like, I'm not doing that no more. Like, it's just sad that we got to that point that we're hyping every single rumor and to that point, you know? I prefer Sony's way of doing it. Show me the content. Don't talk about it. Don't make up stuff. Just show me. Show me the content. Show me a trailer. And then over time, provide more information on that trailer. And I'm happy. Like Ghost of Tsushima, I'm looking forward to more information on that game. But I know the game is real. It's not a rumor. And it's being developed by Sucker Punch. It's real. It's a real thing. This Vanquish thing, I don't know what to think of it. You know what I'm saying? Do I like Crash better than Spyro? I ended up playing Crash more often than Spyro, so I would say yes, but I'm not a big platformer guy. I wasn't a big platformer. I played platformers. I played more Crashes than I did Spyro, to be honest. But I wasn't a big platformer, guys, for myself. It's a decent genre, but it's not like my go-to genre. So, last topic, right? What I expect. What did I title it as? What did I call it? Let me see. I called it. I gotta make sure so I can stay on topic. What's next for PS4? That's what I call it. What's next for PS4? My opinion on this. All right. It's going to be an interesting conversation. Caligars, what do we think of Warframe? You know, I actually never sat down and played War. I have it downloaded. I just never got around time to playing it. I heard it was great. I heard it is a great game. But surprisingly, I never got around to playing it. And I have it downloaded. I make sure I keep up with the updates. I just never got the time to invest in it. But some people telling me it's fantastic. A fantastic game. I think it has 20 million unique users now or something like that. It's huge. My man Lionel said, to be honest, Phil might be working hard to keep some of these games multi-plats like Monster Hunter and Dragon Ball Z Fighters. Working hard to keep some of the games multi-plats? I'll be honest. With Phil, I think Phil is transitioning, and I said this before, but I think Phil's transitioning from being a hardware-focused strategy, which is Xbox, focusing on the hardware, and they shift their focus on being a software provider, content provider, right? That's I think that's where he's focusing on. And I think that's where he's going to transition to, a focus on providing content in games and delivering those content and games across every platform. That's what I think. And because he's adopting the strategy, he and many of the big wigs at Microsoft see the value in providing those software, content, all that stuff on as much platforms as possible, vice just keeping it to the Xbox ecosystem. I know a lot of people disagree with me because the number one reason is Microsoft makes Xbox hardware. They have to worry about selling the hardware. That's the number one reason. That's really the only pushback I get from people because Microsoft makes Xbox hardware. So why would you sell your games on other platforms, which gives people less reason to buy your hardware? That's the number one counter, right? And that's really the only counter because that's really the only counter they have. But let's look at hardware from Microsoft perspective. They're not selling a lot. My analyst has Xbox at 35 million. So Xbox is getting thrashed on the hardware front. Let's assume by putting their games on other platforms, Nintendo and PlayStation, they sell less hardware. Right? I think, and that's a legitimate concern. It's a legitimate point. They will sell less hardware. But let's assume if that scenario existed today, and Halo, Sea of Thieves, Crackdown, all these games are coming everywhere, not just on PC, but also on PlayStation, maybe some of them on Switch, the ones that Switch can handle, right? Switch. What's up, mi amor? I'll be back. Okay, mi amor. This is Puerto Rock 27. So let's say that happened. And because all these games that are unique to Xbox are coming to other platforms, PC, PlayStation, Xbox. Let's say we've known about this for like a year or two, and instead of 35 million, Xbox would be at 25 million. Like a $10 million difference. Let's assume it was that big. Let's say 15 million. Let's say Xbox One is only at 20 million. Right? Let's cut it huge. Let's say it's a huge hardware market share. Right? Let's say because of that, let's say Microsoft announced back in 2015 that their game's coming on PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. And because of that, Xbox One sales dropped significantly to the point where right now, Xbox One would be at 20 million, which is really low, right? Let's pretend that was the world. Let's pretend we live in that world. But where they lost 15 million Xbox One sales, they gained 75 million PlayStation 3 sales. Think about that. Where Microsoft would have lost in hardware on their own platform 15 million, 20 million, whatever number, huge. Let's talk about huge numbers. They gained an audience of last I checked from Consumer Electronics shows 73.6 million worldwide, and that's just on PlayStation. Now add the 15 million the Switch has over the last 10 months. So between the Switch and the PlayStation, they just gained 88 million console users. Now, sure, Microsoft, royalty fees, a little bit of money is going to go to PlayStation pocket. A little bit money is going to go in Nintendo's pocket. Like 30% fee to be on their system. No different than what EA does, Ubisoft, all these third-party publishers. No different, right? But in the end, Microsoft gained 80+ million console base. Let me tell you something. If Microsoft made games for PlayStation, Nintendo, just PlayStation alone, they're going to have access, when it's all said and done, to over 100 million consoles sold. Microsoft will never do that on their own with the Xbox. Xbox is not going to sell 100 million units. It's not. Look at the 360. That console didn't sell 100 million. And Microsoft will never get another gen like that 360 gen. That was literally the perfect storm for that console to be successful. Look what it took just to sell 85 million. Number one, they sold a year in advance with their competition. Xbox 360 came out in 2005. The competition came out in 2006. Right? When the competition came out in 2006, it was $200 more expensive. It was $600. The console was $600 and had no killer apps for a little over 2 years. PS3's true killer app came when Metal Gear Solid 4 came out in 2008. I think it was June. Think about it. PS3, $600 launched in November 2006, and the true big exclusive killer app came out in June of 2008. By the time Metal Gear Solid 4 came out for the $600 console, Xbox 360 already had Gears of War, which launched in November 2006, a brand new killer IP, and then a year later, Halo 3, which was a phenom at the time. And this was already out before PlayStation got its first big killer app. And the 360 was $400. And that was the upper end. If you went with the arcade edition, $300. My man said, did Miss PR77 came and tell you it's bedtime? She was like, wrap it up, bro. Nah, she was just telling me she was going out to see her sister. That's it. But you see what I'm saying? Think about everything that went right for 360. I think the only real blemish was the Red Ring of Death. That was a huge blemish for 360. But everything else, cheaper price, a year ahead of the market, exclusive big killer apps before your competition was pushing their killer apps. It was huge. But in the end, it sold 85 million, and that's it. I ain't gonna say that's it because that's a lot, but it didn't sell 100 million. So if you can't sell 100 million under those conditions, especially was out on the market for 8 years, 8 years, and didn't sell 100 million, you ain't selling 100 million ever. Microsoft will never have a console that they can say they have access to 100 million users or 100 million console selling fan base. But they can if they put their games on PlayStation. They can if they put their games on Nintendo. You know? And that's why I think Microsoft is going to go to a software-centric strategy. With this software-centric strategy, they have access to more users. I don't think Microsoft wants to fight this hardware because it's not really a fight they're going to win. They're not going to gain the 80 million unless the only strategy that can help them gain that much market share is if Sony really screws up. That's really it. Sony has to screw this up for Microsoft to be successful and gain their 80 to 90 million console user base. Microsoft cannot rely on a strategy of, well, we may sell 90 million consoles if Sony fucks up next gen, so we'll say and see. That's not a strategy. That's not a strategy Microsoft is doing. That's not what they're doing. They can't rely on Sony screwing up for them to be successful. Shout out to Lionel, my man. He says, people keep wishing for another Dreamcast, but what they fail to realize, the Xbox is the successor of the Dreamcast. Dreamcast been reincarnated. That's true. The OG Xbox was the bona fide successor to Dreamcast. And it wasn't every way, even like the triggers and all that stuff. Everything was just like the Dreamcast. All right? We're never going to get another Dreamcast, legitimate Dreamcast console. That's long gone. All right? But in the end, I think Phil Spencer sees this hardware battle as a crutch. Because no matter what gen starts, they're going to be tied. They're gonna have two hands tied behind their pocket. They don't have Asia at all. Xbox is pretty much non-existent in Asia, and most European markets don't buy Xbox consoles. You know, unless PlayStation is a disaster, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. And I think Microsoft sees more money in just being kind of like a hybrid. You know, a company that's a third party, but you also make hardware to cater to your specific small group of diehard Xbox fans, which Microsoft can survive on that. That's not a big deal. Microsoft probably has no issues with selling 20 million consoles, 25 million consoles. They have no issues with that because as long as they're not selling these consoles at a loss, you know, most of the time these consoles are sold for profit. They could sell 20 million because that's not where the real money is. Real money is not from the actual sale of the console. It's content, you know. So Microsoft making controllers, custom hardware, custom consoles to 20 to 30 million people every gen, that's fine. They'll make their little change on peripherals and hardware sales, but the big money is the software. And I think they're going to open up their umbrella to gain as much software sales and revenue from all sources of platforms that are out there. And I'm not just talking, I know people think I'm trolling because of PlayStation. No, I think it's beyond that. It's going to be actual gaming on an iPhone platform, if Apple allows it. Gaming on Android, gaming on Chrome OS, gaming on Mac operating system. They're going to broaden as much operating systems that are out there. And any gaming platform that's out there, Microsoft wants in because that's reach they can use to put their content on that. Similar, again, just no different than Windows OS. Doesn't matter. Dell makes hardware, Toshiba makes hardware, Samsung makes hardware, HP, Lenovo, all these companies make hardware, PCs and stuff like that. Microsoft wants their operating system and services on those items, push them out there. Everybody else, spread your hardware to all 4 corners of the globe, and we're going to tap into the market they create. So the market Sony created to be all around with PlayStation, Microsoft will throw themselves in on the backs of Sony by providing just games. And do I think Sony will take that plan? Hell yes, Sony's going to take that plan because Sony's going to see that as a plus where it's going to make more people buy hardware. Microsoft's not going to care. Even if Xbox only sells 20 million consoles because of this strategy, they don't care because, again, it's the software revenue that's going to increase. They may only have 20 million Xbox consoles out there, but they just gain access to 100 million console fan base. And then Nintendo, God knows what that console is going to sell. I have a feeling at the rate it's going, it's also going to sell 100 million in their own right. So imagine having access to 100 million Switches, 100 million PlayStation 4s, PC, your own Xbox market share, and then whatever other platforms are out there. Android, iOS, Mac OS, so much content, so much platform holders, and Microsoft will make money putting their content out there. And I think that's what they're exactly going to do. I don't think they're going to be exact whatever. Good topic, good question. Now, for me, as for Sony, my expectations, I think now it's going to be 50-50. If we don't see new IPs from Sony from their first party at this E3, I think it's because the first parties that aren't doing a project now are gearing up for next gen. If you know what I mean. Does that make sense? Like Sucker Punch making Ghost of Tsushima. Okay, so we know that's a PS4 title. But what is Guerrilla doing now? They released Horizon Zero Dawn. Are they starting a new game for the PS4? And if they do, I think it might be a cross-gen title. I think it'll be a PS4, PS5 title. So let's say if they're starting working on Horizon Zero Dawn 2, it's going to be like a 2-3 year wait now. It's not. I don't think it's going to be a 6-year game because they already have the assets. And we talked about earlier before, the assets are already there. So they'll be able to make a sequel quicker. But are they going to make a sequel to just a PS4 in 2019, 2020? Because again, Horizon Zero Dawn came out last year, 2017, right? So if it takes about 3 years, let's say 2020, in 2020, is it just a PS4 title? I don't think so. I think right now, some of these games are also being worked or being ready for the PlayStation 5 as well. Do I think it's going to be exclusive to PS5? I don't think so. I don't think Horizon Zero Dawn is going to be exclusive. Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is going to be exclusive to PS5. I think it's going to be a cross-gen title made for the PS4 and Pro, and then one built for the PS5 to take care of much more technologies and do more things. And then I think Horizon Zero Dawn 3 will be a PS5 exclusive with a bigger fan base and stuff. Kind of like similar. The first 2 years of the PS5 cycle, we're going to have a lot of cross-gen titles between PS4. This is the reason why I think backwards compatibility will definitely be on the PS5. All right? Reason being is it's going to give developers the flexibility to still make PS4 games that people can play on their PS5. The question is, will the PS5 enhance those PS4 games backwards compatible, similar to what Microsoft is doing, enhancing backwards compatible title? You know, so if you take a PS4 game, let's say the PS5 comes out in 2020, right? So you got your PS5. It's 2020, 2021, and a new developer in that year makes a PS4 game, right? Because the PS4 fan base is still bigger, much bigger than the PS5 fan base. The PS5 just came out. You have maybe 1 or 2, 3 million people at most within the first couple of months. So you're still going to see PS4 games. But the disc will say PS4, PS5 compatible. So you take the game, you put in a PS5, and the game is enhanced, similar to what Xbox does. You know, so you got a game enhanced on the PS5. You know, you're going to see a lot of that. You know, you're going to see a lot of that. All right. But I think Sony is already getting ahead of the game because, again, the PS5 is their responsibility. No one's going to make your platform look better than the people who make the platform. To make the PS5 good, that's Sony's responsibility. It's not EA's responsibility. It's not Activision's responsibility. Again, this goes back to community pussy. We talked about that. All right. All right. So what lies ahead for PlayStation? I have a feeling it all depends on what we see at E3 2018. If we don't see new IPs this year, you're not going to see new IPs for PlayStation 4 in 2019. If you do, it's going to be a preparation of cross-gen. You know what I'm saying? There's potential that Sony is leveraging third party to make exclusives for the PlayStation. For example, rumors of Devil May Cry 5. I could see Sony doing that to fill in the gaps that the first party is not covering now. They'll be like, hey, Capcom, give us this game that's, you know, we want this exclusive to our platform. You know, you guys over there, this guy, to fill in those gaps because our first party is already pushing on to next gen. And we're going to have cross-gen titles, but we don't want to announce it in 2018 yet, you know? So I can see that. All right. So I see for PlayStation Future, I'm not expecting big new IPs unless it's from a third party and Sony created a deal, but I'm not seeing big new IPs from the first party. I see them covering down more on what they have going on. I see more information on Death Stranding. I see more information on Ghost of Tsushima, and I can see them leveraging third party to make exclusives. Which servers are not working on a title currently? Well, remember, Guerrilla just released last year Horizon Zero Dawn, so they're obviously going to be working on something new. And Santa Monica is about to release God of War. Once God of War is released, you have to move on to the next project, right? And those next projects, I think, are going to be for the PlayStation 5, with at a minimum cross-gen to the PlayStation 4, backwards compatible, you know, things like that. So that's what I see for Sony. All right. It's just too close. We're in a phase where next gen is coming, and I'm thinking 2020, and that's only 2 years away. So unless you can make a game in a year and a half, my man says P-Rock look crazy. I know my little thing right here. I don't know what's going on here. See that? Weird. All right. My man says Sergeant No Rider. Sony is broke. Man, Sergeant No Rider, my man, bro. Yo, hold up. I remember you. I always remember Sergeant No Rider. But I seem to have conversations. I'm glad you showed up. But I seem to have conversations. I remember, and I'm going to look. I'm going to go back because I got the tapes. I'm going to go back to some of my videos. But I seem to remember, Sergeant No Rider, we having conversations of Xbox One X being the reason to start to outsell the PlayStation. How did that turn out? Don't try to deny it now, brother. Don't do it. Don't go there. Because I got the tapes. We had these conversations. You swore up and down that with the release of the X, Microsoft's going to take over because they have the better version of the multiplats. And that was the only reason people were buying PS4s. We had this conversation. And I noticed you disappeared as November started getting closer. Bro, you better take that L. You better give me my props. Homie, come on. I remember. Yo, I remember, dog. Dog, don't make me make a video. No, I'll get my man Morgana Days. is archived. I seem to remember these conversations, Sergeant O'Rider, with you. And just because your name, Sergeant O'Rider, whatchamacallit, is very unique. I remember a lot of names, especially. But I remember we were having these conversations a lot. Sergeant O'Rider swore up and down that the only reason people cared about PS4 was because of power. Homie, Sergeant O'Rider, hey, let's go. My man up here, Sergeant O'Rider, said MS is worth $742 billion. Sony is worth $65 billion. What has Sony won? What does that have? What does the $742 billion have to do with gaming? Listen, if the value of Microsoft had any relevance to gaming, we would not be talking about rumors of Vanquish 2 being exclusive to Xbox. That is not a conversation you have about a $742 billion company. A $742 billion company, and we are talking about a rumor of Vanquish 2 being exclusive. Does that sound like a conversation we should be having about, let's just round it up, $1 trillion company? Yet the $60 billion company is giving us Spider-Man and God of War and Ghost of Tsushima and Detroit Being Human, giving us experiences like PlayStation VR. Like, who really sounds like $1 trillion juggernaut if you were to compare what's being done? You see what I'm saying? Granted, Microsoft is extremely huge, but I think a lot of you dudes forget to realize the reason why they're huge is not because of gaming, it's because of their power and foothold in the IT industry. Microsoft is huge in the IT industry. They own the IT industry. Microsoft Office alone, just a productivity software, is their number one breadwinner. That shit is huge. Xbox is a drop of a bucket compared to the IT infrastructure. And because of that, everybody has budget. So it's not Microsoft is $700 billion. That doesn't mean anything. What is Xbox worth in its own right? And how does Microsoft treat, enact, support? You know, those are the things we look at. You know, Sony being a $60 billion company, sure, they're $60 billion, but you can see they're putting tons of effort. And I don't want to say effort. Maybe effort's the wrong way. But you can tell PlayStation is the priority for them. And they show it. Garuda, my man, $10 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, why do Xbox guys cry about toxic community? Then make videos with hardcore Xbox liars. Make the video pure. Sorry, 7. I'm going to say this, man. Let's all be honest with toxicity and stuff like that. To me, toxicity, or we have another super chat. Imagine Star Wars exclusive to PlayStation. Oh, shit. You just need to stop with that one. Woo! Show and W. What's up, brother? My man, sorry, no rider. I'm going to look for them, though. My man. But anyway, brother, I'm glad you're here. You know, I appreciate everybody's opinion and stuff like that. I appreciate you here, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome back. Hope you stick around. Don't disappear on me, brother. Don't disappear. All right? All right. My man right here starting. My man, sorry, no right up here trolling. Said MS about to become $1 billion company. You mean $1 trillion company? Where is Sony? Been here since 1946 and been pushed out of industry except one. I'll be honest. I mean, Sony's in other industries. You know, they make, like, right now, I think 90% of the cameras uses their lenses. They have a banking firm. They have, listen, I'll be honest. I don't care what other industry Sony's in. For example, upstairs, I got a washer and dryer made by Samsung. Samsung makes washer and dryers, and they're nice. They're really nice, high efficiency dryers and washers. Really nice looking. My wife saw it and she fell in love with it. It makes a little sound when the laundry's done and the dryer, you know, clothes are dry. It makes this little chime. It's pretty funny. In fact, almost all my stuff in here, weird how these stuff anyway. But in the end, I don't really care. Like, Microsoft making tons of money on Microsoft Office doesn't mean anything to me. I use it. I know how to use Excel. I know how to use PowerPoint, all that stuff. I know how to use Visio. But when I use that stuff, it's mostly because of work-related stuff. You know, doing spreadsheets and PowerPoints and presentations and stuff like that. Analyze data, you know, things like that, what I do. But what does that have to do with gaming? None of that. Like if I don't even have like this TV, I borrowed it from my brother because my TV, if you notice, is smaller than the other one. I bought it because I shipped my TV. So my brother-in-law loaned me his. This is Insignia. He works at Best Buy, and this is like a 4K TV. And he got it for like $130 because of his Best Buy discount and all this crazy stuff. But anyway, the TV I have that shipped, and you guys seen it before, is a Vizio. I don't even own, to be honest, the PlayStation console is the only thing Sony I own. I own nothing else Sony. Nothing else I got from Sony. Nothing else. I got, because what Sony does with their other business doesn't mean anything to me. Doesn't mean anything to me. So Sony successful, like Sony got rid of their PC. Remember 2014? Sony got rid of their PC division, right? And everybody correlated that to how it's going to impact PlayStation. So Sony got rid of their PC division. They sold their buildings, getting rid of all this stuff. And people, podcasts in 2014 translated that with Sony's too broke to make games. Kind of like what Sergeant No Writer just said, Sony's too broke, right? So somehow Sony getting rid of their PC division equals you can't make games for PlayStation, which now we see is not true at all. You saw Sony's been working on Horizon Zero Dawn. They were working on Uncharted. They're working on The Last of Us 2. They were working on Days Gone. Now we got Ghost of Tsushima. They've been working on games. They always have been. The failure of them when it comes to making PCs and laptops had no bearing on what they were doing for PlayStation at all. Despite that, not only were they making games this whole time, but they were also working on the PlayStation 4 Pro, which costs money. They were working on the PlayStation VR, Project Morpheus, because at the time, 2014, we didn't even know about that at all. And they were making PlayStation VR games. So they were making... And the Slim. So they were in production of this. They were making the Slim, making the Pro, making VR, making exclusive titles, and making VR titles. Despite the fact that they were selling off assets, buildings, and getting rid of divisions that was failing them. So my man says, Vios. Like Sergeant No Writer said, what happened to Vios? It failed. Completely failed. They don't make Sony, they don't make PlayStation, they don't make Vios no more. They don't make any PCs no more. What does that have to do with gaming? You see what I'm saying? What happened to Xperia? I don't know. I never bought that phone. I could talk to Microsoft and be like, what happened to Zoom? What does Zoom have to do with anything? You know what I'm saying? The failure of Zoom isn't the reason why Microsoft don't have a lot of developer studios. The two had nothing to do with it. What happened to the Nokia phones they were making? Windows 10 phones. What happened to Groove Music Player? All of that is irrelevant. The success of Groove Music Player has nothing to do with the success of Xbox. None of that pertains to anything. You see what I'm saying? What matters is our specific platform and whatever. So anyway, shout out to Sergeant No Writer for stirring the pot. Anyway, let me go back. Wait. Oh, man, okay. Let me go back because I saw a super chat here, right? Let me go back up. Two super chats I want to address. All right, so let me see. That's it. Oh, no. Okay, so we already covered. Okay, so the super chat I wanted to address was going back to toxicity, because that's a good point, right? Let me go back. I know my man talked about why the Star Wars was exclusive to PlayStation. Imagine if Naughty Dog had a contract to make one exclusive single-player Star Wars game. Oh my God. Yo, I would even accept. I'll be honest. If Disney went to Sony and said, hey, we want Naughty Dog to make a single-player Star Wars game, but it has to be multiplayer because we want to make money, I would even co-sign that. I would say, fuck it, Sony. Just do it. To have access to a Star Wars single-player game made by Naughty Dog, yo, I don't give a fuck if I don't care. Just do it. Even if it is multiplayer, I don't give a fuck. Give it to them. Whoa. Yo, that's all I got to say on that. But anyway, Gorilla Legends. Why do Xbox guys cry about toxic community, then make videos with hardcore Xbox liars, make the video PR? I'll say this. Going back to the toxicity, all right? The true toxicity to me is like the extreme insults of race, culture, you know, insulting the Japanese race, calling console gamers terrorists and pedophiles. To me, that, yeah, I can see PlayStation guys annoying the shit out of Xbox gamers, you know, with the memes. Xbox got no games. Phil Spencer's a liar. 4K on compromise is bullshit. And, you know, and they say it over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Dave D? Top Dog's there. You know, anybody who's joining the stream, thank you so much. I appreciate it. But I can see they're talking about over and over. I can see that. I can see that getting annoying, especially on your timeline. If you constantly see PlayStation guys talking shit about Phil, the memes, Xbox got no games, 4K on compromise, you know, over and over. And they just keep reminding you and over and over and over. So I can see how that will get old real quick. I can see that. I'm not going to lie. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. Did I spill something? I spilled a little drink. Hold on. Oh, boy. But anyway, I could see that being, you know, I could see that getting old. I sympathize. That will get old that will get old if you're an Xbox gamer. You know, it will get old every time if you make a tweet about a game you're playing, you know, even if it's like a backwards compatible game, right? And you're just like, oh shit, you know, it could be a game that was like your favorite game during 360, and now it's backwards compatible on Xbox One, and even has enhancements. I could see you just making, you know, a tweet one day, like, oh wow, what you choose Xbox One enhance? I love this game. I'll go replay it. And all of a sudden, PlayStation guys come out of nowhere. You got no games. That's why you gotta play old shit. All right, I understand. That gets old. That will get old. You know, that every single time you make a tweet, there's always a PlayStation guy that has to put in their 2 cents for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And they just keep doing it over and over. I get that. All right. But there's no excuse for some dudes taking it too far and actually saying things which is kind of disturbing. You know, things like, you know, pedophilia, calling people terrorists, insulting a culture simply because they're Japanese and they're not American or Western. You know, that's, you're going a bit too far with that, you know. You know, for the dudes that just constantly harass you with the same narrative, Xbox got no games, you're only playing BC, just block them. You know, that's it. Just don't deal with them if they're doing it too much. You know, if it really bothers you, don't do it too much. But I will say this. Some of these dudes, you know, on Twitter that have channels, and some of them stopped putting content on their channels. They were putting content in the beginning, then they just stopped. But some of these dudes who are like, oh, toxic, they're only doing that because they're on the losing end of this console war. Do you understand? Because make no mistake, a lot of these dudes, some of these dudes that are talking about toxicity, they weren't preaching that in 2013 and 14. You know, when Xbox was pushing out games, and they thought that Xbox has a chance to really take over the market, or could still be competitive within the market. Because the assumption was Microsoft was going to keep pushing out games, pushing out content. Then, you know, cloud, DX12, all that talk, cloud compute, all that stuff. And there was an assumption that all this stuff was going to build, right? And at the same time, people honestly thought Sony was going to have problems this gen because the stocks was at junk bond, they're selling off assets, the PC division's failing. So again, this combination of Sony as a company as a whole having issues, and the gen didn't start out with a lot of exclusives for PlayStation, coupled with Xbox is pushing out a lot of exclusive content, and Microsoft is just riding high on money. there was a thought, 2013, 2014, that Xbox would eventually be the dominant console, or at least be very competitive, like the way it was with 360. In fact, a lot of people thought it was going to be 360 versus PS4 and 360 versus PS3 all over again, specifically in America. That's why they're concerned about America so much, because that's the #1 region for Xbox. So they made the assumption that, yeah, the generation of gaming is going to turn out that way. So they were all rah-rah. Make no mistake. A lot of these dudes, some of these dudes that were about, I'm so tired, I just block, toxicity, they were rah-rah 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I got a dude on Twitter. He even said it best. Unless you were around 4 years ago, you don't understand the context of what's going on Twitter gaming now. If you started Twitter in 2016, you lost a lot of context to this generation. So you will come in thinking, man, this PlayStation community is fucking toxic as fuck. They're always rah-rah. And the Xbox community is generally quiet. It wasn't like that 4 or 5 years ago. Xbox community was very rah-rah, getting on their shit. Especially there was a lot of rah-rah shit, I'm telling you, because during that time, you had Sony. Yo, I remember when their stocks went to BBB status and junk bond. For what was that? You had Xbox dudes saying there won't be no more PlayStation 4. Some of them were hyping Samsung is going to buy PlayStation, and that's better for gaming. That's the truth. You had dudes saying, oh, Samsung's going to take over PlayStation, and that's a much better because Sony sucks. That's not a lie when Sony's junk bond status went crazy. These dudes that are quiet and all about, I just block them because I'm just tired of the negativity. They were rah-rah in 2013, 2014. Don't be fooled by some of these dudes. They were rah-rah 4 or 5 years ago. Because there was, Sony as a company was in trouble. They were losing money. You see Sergeant No Rider. You just saw him in the chat. My man was like, oh, where's Xperia? Where's this? Imagine that, but the whole entire community of Xbox dudes. That's how they all were 2013, 2014. Selling assets, studios closing. They can't afford exclusives. This is why they're buying multi-platform marketing rights. All you're going to see is indies and multi-plats from them. They can't afford to make AAA games. Their junk bond, their stocks is junk bond, BBB. You might not even get a PlayStation 5. All of this was happening in 2013, 2014. But now, let's realize the console war has been over. The console war truly is over. I mean, in reality, there is no console war. It's just PlayStation's on top. Microsoft is going to do what they're going to do, and Nintendo is the new hotness. And that's it. That's pretty much where we're at. That's where we're at. And because that's where we're at, the rah-rah Xbox dudes are no rah-rah no more because they have nothing to be rah-rah about. They're not on their rah-rah. They're not, they're not on their soapbox. They have nothing to hype in terms of, talking shit against Sony, whatever. So now it's all of this is toxic. I just enjoy gaming, block. And people coming in now over the last year or two, now they're seeing these dudes. They're like, no, this is toxic. I don't participate. I just block them. So you come in you come in and you're thinking, damn, this Xbox community is pretty chill. They don't want to be involved with this. They just block. Man, these Sony dudes are a bunch of assholes. Yeah, I ain't get the context of 4 or 5 years ago. These same dudes that are blocking were hyping Samsung to take over the console. All right? Don't let this piece. They just threw the white flag. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing a community that raised the white flag. They don't want to participate no more. And it isn't because of maturity or because they outgrew it. Fuck no. Because I guarantee, I promise you, if next gen Sony royally screws up and Microsoft comes out on top and starts kicking ass, these same dudes are going to go on their shit. They're going to get up in there and you're going to see. Listen, I seen these dudes how they were during the 360 era. I seen these dudes on YouTube videos. All right? I seen them. when 360 was at its best. I seen how they act. All right? It's completely different when your console's getting its ass kicked. There's nothing to be rah-rah about. But make no mistake. All right? If you don't believe me, look at a lot of some of the Xbox channels now. Now I'm going to say this. My boy Zaire 2005. My man Nextgen 720. A lot of people hate him. But I'm going to tell you, Zaire is literally, he's like, I'm going to tell you, Zaire is like the bad guy wrestler in like a wrestling, you know, like WWE. You know, he's like the Ted DiBiase or the Ric Flairs. You understand what I'm saying? Total assholes that you fucking hate. But yet you watch them every fucking time and you hope they go in and get their ass kicked. You understand what I'm saying? He's that persona. You understand what I'm saying? And he understands that. You know, understand this. If Zaire, if dudes like Nextgen, right? If they were truly fanboys, he will not be fucking with me. You understand what I'm saying? But my man Nextgen had my back day one. He knew I was more partial to PlayStation. You understand what I'm saying? He knew that, but he didn't care. That doesn't bother him. He will rock out and chat and do a podcast or anything. Just last week, he had read the Baron, a Nintendo dude, and I think he plans to have him again this week. I wish I was there, but I'll be driving this Thursday. But Red Baron was there last week. If you missed the multiplayer podcast last week, check it out. And me and the Baron, we were caving heads, and Zaire let it happen. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all entertainment to him. It's fun. It's trying to bring a class of entertainment on YouTube that you guys can enjoy. You know what I'm saying? But some dudes, they don't do it for the entertainment. Some dudes, this is serious business. You know, because if it was truly entertainment, they would have kept on with their channels, or they would have not changed the narrative. Look at some of the Xbox channels you have now, right? Go to their videos, click on playlist, and start from oldest to newest. You'll see in their oldest videos, they were rah-rah. PlayStation bags and PlayStation sucks, Xbox One MPD, more games, more exclusives, because that's what matter. And now you check the videos they talk now, and they ain't like that no more. They calm the hell down. They have some act right. They got some act right real quick. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to just leave it at that, all right? I think I've been talking too long. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to give it up. I got some stuff to do. But anyway, what I want to say to you guys, I appreciate you guys for rocking out with me. For all those that supported the Super Chat, thank you so much. I truly appreciate that you guys support the channel. But everybody, I hope that, you know, these live streams, you guys find it enjoyable. If you didn't get the opportunity to watch it live and you hear this as a recording, I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for catching up. I truly appreciate it, man. My man, Ancaster, a $4.99 Super Chat. Appreciate it. He said, Sony took their Japanese slippers off and gave Microsoft a beating. Yo, these dudes are ruthless, man. But I want to say I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate all you guys that helped my channel grow. You guys grew with me. And I appreciate, you know, that I have all of you guys as subscribers, as family, as friends, as fellow gamers and stuff like that. Okay? Again, the link to my Twitter is in the description box. If you haven't followed me on there already, hit me up a follow. I'm a little bit more ruthless. I'm a lot more ruthless on Twitter, but it's just all in good fun and stuff like that. All right? And then also I'm on PSN and Xbox, Puerto 77. Same name, okay? But anyway, you guys are awesome. You guys have a great night. Take care. I will see you tomorrow. 60 Frames No Lag podcast. I'll have other members and we could chime in and talk. I hope you're there, 8 p.m. Eastern. And that's it, people. I'm out. Make sure before you hit leave, hit the like. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe and the bell. All right, people? You guys take care. Peace.